March Madness is here. It's time to make some picks. We're going to be filling out a Swivel Chair Sports official bracket right after this. You make it happen. You come back from the brink of hell. Kind of in a love triangle situation right now. And to help illustrate what needs to happen this next week for each team to make the playoffs, I have this nice whiteboard.
Oh, Jesus.
This one's for you. How did they not figure this out? The reason the game is dying, the reason the fan base is shrinking, is because no one can watch your product. The NBA title this year with the Phoenix Suns, would that validate his legacy?
I have no comments about the snake.
Hey, divorce is tough, man.
I guess, yeah. Divorce is hard. Poor guy. Hopefully he can still kiss his son on the lips, though. Anyways, welcome back to the most unprofessional sports podcast in the world. I am your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle, here with my co-host today, Aaron and Siege. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
What's going on?
All right, so
That was pretty cute, wasn't it?
the what?
Well, that was pretty cute.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was. So March Madness is here. Obviously, tradition to fill out a bracket. Decide to figure out what team's going to come out on top through all the madness. So what we're going to do here today on this episode of Swivel Chair Sports is we're going to fill out a bracket together, all three of us making picks together, seeing what we can come up with. And so let's go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and bring up the bracket right quick. And I guess we'll start in the southern region. Probably is.
Do you want to
do what?
Oh, sorry. Are we going to do like just the whole South region till we get to the Elite Eight, or?
We'll do it one round at a time. So we'll do the whole round of 64, and then the round of 32.
Cool.
But yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So starting out in the southern region, we got number 1 seed Alabama taking on the winner of this. What two teams are represented here? I don't know what the abbreviation.
Southeast Missouri State and Texas A&M CC.
Corpus Christi, probably.
Corpus Christi.
Okay. So we got Alabama playing whoever comes out the top of that. Is that game over yet?
A&M CC, yeah.
A&M CC. Okay, so Bama's playing Texas A&M's Corpus Christi. I think we can all kind of agree that Bama's probably going to come out on top on this.
Close game.
Do you think it's going to be a close game? Like, legitimately?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, Alabama rolls for sure. Alabama.
Yeah, real tied. All right. Moving on to the second game in that southern region, we got Maryland, West Virginia. Mountaineers obviously known for their defense over in the Big 12. Big 12 was a tough conference. A lot of teams ranked high coming out of that Big 12 conference this year. What do you guys think between Maryland and West Virginia? It actually kind of looks like Maryland may have a better defense, at least as points per game go. West Virginia's struggled a lot versus top 25 teams this year. It looks like it could be a really close game in this 8-9 matchup. What do you think, Aaron? Who do you think is going to come out on top here?
I've got West Virginia coming out on top. They've got a really good guard in Eric Stevenson, and they've got a couple good shooters. So they're my pick.
All right. What do you think, Siege? West Virginia or Maryland?
I also have West Virginia in this matchup. Maryland does have a pretty good defense. I don't really know. They don't really play too many like amazing teams. So just based on competition alone, and I mean, I know when you look at West Virginia's record against top 25 teams, they're 4-8. But they're also 7-11 in Big 12 play. So, I mean, for me, it's just a thing of like, who do they play? in their conference games, and I think West Virginia plays better competition and they're more prepared for this game than Maryland. So I have West Virginia rolling into the round of 32.
Yeah, I kind of agree with both you guys. I have West Virginia coming out of this game, so we'll go ahead and put them coming out. The thing that jumped out to me as well is just West Virginia had playing better competition all year long, even despite them being 4-8 against those top 25 teams. They've played top 25 teams 12 times as opposed to Maryland's 9, so that just shows you how much tougher their conference is. Um, but then also number 9 seeds have won 11 of the last 16 meetings against number 8 seeds. So obviously, even that's kind of on West Virginia's favor going into this matchup. Not that that really matters at the end of the day, but that, along with all this other stuff, just seems like it points to West Virginia moving on to the second round. All right, let's move on to San Diego State versus Charleston. What do you guys think? Do you think Charleston is 31-3 this year? Obviously, they're not playing a whole lot of competition over there in their conference. I'm not sure where they're from, but that is a pretty solid record. Do you guys potentially see an upset here in the first round over San Diego State? What do you think, Aaron?
I think a lot of people are pointing at this as a potential upset. The San Diego State doesn't come from, the biggest, best conference. So
Sure. Yeah.
who knows what their competition's actually like. I lean San Diego State, but it's honestly a tough pick for me.
Yeah, what do you think, Siege? I mean, Charleston would be a really cool story to see move on in this game, but it's kind of tough when you're playing a team that actually. I mean, Pac-12 wasn't great this year, but obviously a much stronger conference than whatever conference Charleston's in.
San Diego State in the Pac-12?
No.
Are they not?
I think they're in the same one as I don't think so.
They're in the Mountain West.
Mountain West. I didn't know that. Honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't know the Mountain West still existed. I knew they were in the Mountain West at one point with TCU, but I didn't know that conference still existed.
Mountain West makes sense up there. That's Boise State and them, right?
Yeah.
Boise State, Colorado State, UNLV, Nevada,
Okay.
Utah State.
Okay, yeah, that makes way more sense. But go ahead.
But to get back to your point of, I think Charleston might be from Charleston. I don't know. That could be a stretch.
No, I mean the conference.
I was just messing with you. But I will say I'm also leaning San Diego State. Charleston does play really good team basketball. They don't have like a superstar or anything on their team. But the Aztecs do rank top 10 nationally in defensive efficiency. And going off of teams that have really good tournament runs, they all rank like top 10 in defensive efficiency and stuff like that. So I also am leaning San Diego State to pull off this win. I don't necessarily think the upset is in play with this game particularly.
Yeah, I think I agree. San Diego State seems like they're just going to be a little too much for College Charleston, but hopefully it ends up at least being a good game. It looks like it's got upset potential, so we'll see what happens there, but we'll go ahead and mark San Diego State down for our pick. Moving on to Virginia Furman. I had Virginia, predicted them to win the ACC tournament this year. I think, was it Clemson who came out on top in that?
No. Miami.
Was it Miami?
Right? Was it?
Let me look. Let me look.
I thought Clemson did for some reason.
Why did it just take me to the...
Oh, it might have been Duke.
Might have been Duke.
I think it was Duke. I want to say it was Duke.
I didn't think it was Miami.
Yeah, Duke beat Virginia 59-49.
Okay, so it was Duke. But anyways, I had Virginia winning the ACC tournament. They obviously fell a little bit short, losing the championship game. Don't know much about Furman over there, so I'm probably gonna have Virginia winning this one. What do you guys think, Siege?
I like Virginia. I like Virginia because they hold their opponents to 60 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
that being said, Furman also scores 82 points a game. So it kind of depends on who's playing well. Like if the offense of Furman is on point, then I don't see anybody necessarily stopping them. They shoot a lot of threes. But Virginia also holds their opponents to 60 points a game. They do play in the ACC. I mean, you have like teams like Miami, Duke. They held Duke to 59 points, but they still lost 59 to 49. So, I mean, if Furman can score enough points, I could see them pulling off an upset. I don't necessarily see that happening just because they're playing a Virginia team that, I mean, they're a big name in the tournament.
Right.
And so I don't see it necessarily happening. I think Virginia wins this game, just based on their defensive presence alone.
Fair enough. What do you think, Aaron?
I mean, yeah, it's it's Virginia, so it's
Well,
kind of like
Virginia's like either they get beat the first round
or they win the whole thing.
or they win the whole
they
thing.
They are
There's no
notorious for being the only one seed to lose to a 16.
So, I mean, I think the obvious pick is Virginia here, but you never know.
Fair. That's very true. Yeah, these first four picks seem to be pretty easy going forward. So
They seem to be easy, but are they easy?
I mean,
March Madness
yeah, well,
will be tough.
they seem to be straightforward, but that's always the trick is when the games get played, who wins, who comes out on top. So number 6 Creighton taking on 11 NC State. Couple of pretty good teams right here. Could go either way. Obviously, Creighton's got that 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in Ryan Kalkbrenner, 7-footer, I believe. So he could be a pretty difficult force to stop going down, going forward in this tournament. So what do you think, Siege? Who do you think comes out on top, Creighton or NC State?
I personally have Creighton. It's another one of those games that's like both teams are pretty evenly matched. That being said, Creighton ranks higher in BPI, so I mean you have it pulled up. You have it pulled up also. So I want to lean Creighton here. I could see NC State taking this game, but I want to lean Creighton just because of the BPI. And they also have more games against top 25 opponents, so they're a little bit more tested than NC State. It is one of those games though where like NC State does allow more points per game, but they also score more points per game. So it's like it's one of those things where you could see it happen. It's just I like Creighton here.
Aaron, who you
got? Yeah, kind of along the same lines as Siege. I have Creighton. They've got that big interior presence, and they also have an absolute sniper in Trey Alexander. He's shooting 44% from 3 this year, which in college that's like insane. So, I think that nice inside-out combination will cause problems for NC State.
Yeah, Kalkbrenner, the center that they have, is probably going to be a big impact player in this game for sure.
Yeah, he's the main reason I got Creighton moving on from this one. He's also going to be a reason I have him moving on a little bit further in my personal bracket, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
You?
What? You don't like Creighton?
I'll hear about that. We'll hear about that later, but that's disgusting. I don't like that.
I like it, man. Them who shall not be. I know you're a Big 12 guy. That's not fair. Moving on to the next game, Baylor, UCSB. Who is this? Guys, help me out.
UC Santa Barbara.
UC Santa Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
Baylor seems to be like the obvious choice in this one. But what do you guys think? Do you think an upset is possible? Obviously, Baylor is much more impressive, but
I think an upset is possible if Baylor decides to just build a house and they can't make anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a very dangerous guard combo. So I think Baylor is a very dangerous team in this tournament. I don't really see much from this game.
Yeah, no, it feels like that Alabama one. Like Baylor's gonna just steamroll over UC Santa Barbara. What do you think, Siege?
I agree. UC Santa Barbara hasn't played a top 25 team all year. So facing their first one in the tournament is going to be kind of rough
Yeah.
for them. That being said, they are on like a 7-game win streak, so
Well, they don't know any better, so maybe that'll give them a chance, right? They don't know any better.
yeah, they don't know anything but winning the last 7 games. But I mean, I think Baylor takes care of business against UCSB.
Yeah. All right, moving on to a special game: Mizzou versus Utah State. Mizzou's had their ups and downs this year. Very inconsistent when it comes to playing quality teams. A lot of people are saying that Utah State could come out with this one. What do you think, Aaron?
I could talk probably for a couple hours about Mizzou this year, and as much basketball of them as I've watched, I'm very conflicted on this team. Don't get me wrong, I'm very appreciative that they've had the season that they've had.
Yeah.
But the concerns, they are so contradictory. They are a physical team that doesn't like to rebound.
That was frustrating.
Where does that make sense?
Yeah, that was very frustrating. They refused to rebound.
There are times where everybody's running down the court to get out on the fast break, and the other team just gets an easy putback.
Well, and it seems like if Kobe Brown has a bad game, we're screwed.
I think he should be more aggressive. It's almost like if he starts off cold, then he loses his aggressive edge and kind of disappears for the rest of the game on the offensive side.
I like Demoy Hodge.
Yeah, he's got quick hands. Very quick hands. Very lethal in the passing lanes. Mm-hmm. Mizzou loves the transition game there. They also love threes. They aren't scared to shoot pull up threes in transition. So it all depends to me whether or not they're on. And if they're on, then I could see them making a little bit of a run. But, they struggle rebounding and getting stops inside against larger teams. So.
Well, that's the big problem is if a team is bigger than us, we're probably going to lose that game unless we shoot crazy. Because we have the capability of having a crazy hot night and beating a team that's significantly bigger than us. We've shown that we're able to do that, but usually it takes shooting out of our minds for that to happen. What do you think?
I would not be surprised if there was an upset here.
Yeah, I would not be shocked to see Mizzou lose this game. I don't think they will. I think they come out on top. But what do you think, Siege?
Yeah, the only thing that scares me about Mizzou is their ability to rebound in this game. I mean, if Utah can get boards, then I think Utah will have a field day and pull up the upset. But I mean, if Mizzou's on and they're shooting well and they're getting boards, then I think Mizzou will easily take care of Utah State. But that's the thing. Like, getting boards is kind of one of those things that sometimes it's a skill thing. Like, either Mizzou's not boxing out. They're also a little bit smaller, so they have to be doing those things consistently. So if Mizzou can take care of rebounds, then I think they're going to be okay in this game. I have Mizzou moving on personally, but
okay. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Mizzou can work through their rebounding troubles. But moving on to Arizona Princeton, we got the representative of the Ivy League taking on Arizona. Seems like another one of those Alabama Baylor situations where Arizona's winning, right, guys?
Yeah, Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
not much.
Not really much to say here.
Not much to talk about on that one. Sorry, Princeton alum. And then we got Houston, North Kentucky. I guess we can just do that real quick.
People are saying not to necessarily shit on North Kentucky.
I'm not.
They're saying, don't kind of overlook them, but I don't think they're saying they're not a team to just roll over. This could be a tough game, not necessarily like an upset alert, but it could be a tough game.
Sure, but that's ridiculous, especially
Well,
compared with that.
Yeah, I guess. But Houston just pulled like the closest game ever against Memphis.
Yeah, but Memphis is low key decent.
Houston's really good. Don't get me wrong, but they've only played 2 top 25 teams all year.
True.
So I don't know if Houston is gonna make the run that everybody's expecting.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like it's a 16 seed.
Oh yeah, this game is Houston's game for sure. But I'm saying like later on down the road, don't necessarily like. I wouldn't say Houston is. I mean, right now they're probably the favorite to win, but I don't think that they're going to this year.
No, I don't think they are.
I think they'll play well.
Spoilers.
I just don't think that maybe
they're all the crack up to be.
Like a super deep tournament run is in their future.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think they go super deep, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Iowa-Auburn, a little bit more fun to talk about since this could actually be a pretty competitive game. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to go with Auburn just because I've watched them more this year, so I know more about them. They're a pretty physical team, so I think that could end up helping them come out on top. What do you think, Siege?
I also have Auburn in my bracket. I have Auburn because they don't allow too many points. Iowa does put up a lot of points. They put up 80 a game. But I have Auburn pulling it out in this matchup. If you could call it an upset, call it an upset, but I have Auburn.
Yeah, I feel like when 9s beat 8s, it's not really an upset. They're basically the same level at that point. What do you think, Aaron? Iowa or Auburn?
I guess I'm kind of outnumbered here. I actually had Iowa coming out. I think they're a little bit deeper, kind of along their starting five and, next off the bench. I think they're a little bit better shooting team than Auburn, but who knows if Auburn's defense can hold them.
Yeah, I just expect Auburn to come out and be a really physical team, and that's inevitably what's going to help them win this game. But it's going to be close regardless. I think it could go either way. I mean, let's kind of look. I'm curious. What are these? These are a little bit more definitive than I would have expected, but I don't know what this means. But I guess we'll check off. Auburn on that one. And move on to Miami and Drake. What do you guys think? You got the U, or you got Adonis's father, Drake?
Okay. No, that was a stretch right there.
Well,
I've got Miami.
Okay.
I also have Miami.
You. All right, we'll go ahead and mark off Miami. Seems to be a consensus there. Not much to talk about that round. Moving on to Indiana versus Kent State. So I'm going to have a little bit of a spoiler here. I have Indiana personally. I have Indiana going very deep this year. But who knows? Who knows what can happen in March? What do you guys think? You got Indiana or Kent State?
I have Indiana as well. First round.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. Hopefully these get a little bit more fun as they go on. Okay, this one will be fun. Iowa State or Mississippi State / Pittsburgh. What do we think? Do we think Siege? You're. Yeah, well,
I'm watching the game right now.
What's the score between?
I think it's 23-21 Mississippi State.
Okay.
Yeah, 23-21 Mississippi State, but Pitt's shooting free throws right now.
So I think either team will beat Iowa State. I think I'm outnumbered here because I think we me and Aaron talked about it earlier, and I know you're going to go Big 12 Siege, but I have either Mississippi State or Pitt beating Iowa State. I just don't think either of those teams are. Both of those are really good teams to have to play-in games. And I just think that whichever one comes out of that play-in game is going to have a chip on their shoulder to win that first round. And Iowa State is a very vulnerable team that could lose or beat anybody. So, what do you think, Aaron? Iowa State or whoever comes out on top in tonight's game?
I think Mississippi State could cause real problems. They've got a real stifling defense, but I went with Iowa State. Is it just me, or are 11 seed playing games really dumb?
I think, yeah. I don't think an 11 seed should have to play a play-in game. I agree. I think it should be the 4-16s, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. The 11 seed playing game is weird because, like, who is it? Where is?
Well, both these teams I
Like
feel
the
like
big-
deserve to be in.
Yeah, I mean the Big Sky tournament winner gets a 14 seed. Montana State.
Yeah.
Montana State is not. I mean, we'll get to that later, but Montana State doesn't. I don't know if they stand a chance against anybody in this tournament.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's the benefit of winning a tournament, I guess. But
I mean, yeah, you get an automatic spot in the
yeah.
thing, but like 14 seed, like that's guaranteed, but an 11 seed isn't.
No, I agree. I definitely think it should be the last 4 seeds through the 4-16s, but because then it would make it even cooler whenever a 16 beats a 1 if that ever happened again. But so I guess Aaron, did you say Iowa State? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, no vocal answer out of Aaron. He's over there just nodding his head. I also have Iowa State moving on out of the first round.
Okay. I figured you two
If
both did. I really hope that either Mississippi State or Pitt wins because they should.
then you can laugh in our faces, but
Well,
it's okay.
Well, no, I just think they're both good teams. But, moving on to
mean-
Xavier, Kennesaw. What do you think? What were you saying, Siege?
If Mississippi State gets in, I think it'll be a more competitive game than if Pitt gets in. If Pitt takes care of
I
business
agree.
against Mississippi State, I don't think it's going to be that great of a game. But if Mississippi State wins against Pitt and they play Iowa State, I think it'll be a better game.
Okay. Moving on to Xavier, Kennesaw State. Is that what that is? Yeah, Kennesaw State.
Yeah, give me Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree. All right. Go ahead and mark them. Moving forward, Texas A&M, Penn State. This one could be a good one. I had a little bit of a tough time picking the winner of this one. I inevitably went with my SEC bias, went Texas A&M, but Penn State looked really good in that Big Ten championship game against Purdue, pushing them to the brink there at the end. Purdue almost pissing it away. But what do you guys think, Penn State or Texas A&M?
Go ahead, Aaron.
I actually have Penn State. I know I was high on A&M during the SEC tournament, but Penn State's got some shooters.
Penn
They've
State's
got
nice.
three guards shooting over 40% from three, and another one shooting 38%.
Yeah.
All of them, well, three of them have over 100. Two of them have over 200 3-point attempts.
If they would have just
They won't be afraid to let it fly.
if they would have got a shot off there at the end of the Big Ten championship game, I think they win. I think they had it, but the dude fumbled the ball and then ended up traveling, so didn't even get a shot off. But what do you think, Siege? Who's winning?
Yeah, I think this game is going to be really good. I personally have A&M moving on. They showed me that they could get through the SEC.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they made the championship game against Alabama, who's regarded as one of the best teams right now. So, I mean, I don't know. I like A&M over Penn State in this matchup just because they showed me what they can do in the SEC tournament. So,
Yeah.
all right, I have A&M.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good one though. I'm excited to see that game. Texas A&M. Texas Colgate. Texas.
Texas.
Yep.
Moving on
That was
to
a pretty
the
easy
East
one.
region. Yeah, that one wasn't hard. Oh, we got Purdue, Texas Southern slash FD. Who's FDU?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Purdue.
Purdue.
Fair Dickinson, wherever they are, but yeah, Purdue.
Okay. Memphis versus FAU. What do you guys think? Memphis has played a lot more competition this year than FAU has, but their BPI is very similar, so that's interesting. What do you think, Siege?
I like Memphis because of how closely they just played against Houston.
Mm-hmm. That was really good game.
I think that they can ride that momentum from playing one of the best teams in the country right now, and I think they'll take care of FAU in this matchup.
Aaron, who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, my kind of concerns with FAU are, the usual. Who have they played? I mean, they did beat Florida, but Florida wasn't exactly a top tier SEC team this year. So
Yeah,
I too have Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis. I agree with Siege. That's showing what they did against, or seeing what they did against Houston gives me a lot of encouragement that they're probably going to carry that momentum into the tournament, and maybe make a little bit of a run here. We'll see. Now, upset potential. Oral Roberts versus Duke. Oral Roberts made that run a couple years ago, I believe it was. I think it was the Elite Eight. Obviously, they're a little bit of a scary team. They're at the 12 seed. Playing a Duke team that's obviously played a lot more competition than Oral Roberts. But what do you guys think? You guys got Duke, or you guys got the upset with Oral Roberts, Aaron?
I've got Duke. They're coming off of, obviously we just discussed their ACC tournament win, which somehow all of us forgot. So I think they're getting hot at the right time to maybe make a run at the championship. So I've got Duke.
CG got Duke or ORU?
I also have Duke. ORU, they're a great basketball team. I don't think that should be taken away from them. If Duke, the only way I can see ORU kind of making that jump and beating Duke would be if Duke just can't hit a three to save their life.
Yeah.
Because if they can't hit a three, then they have to go down low to a 7'5" center. Like that's ridiculous. Duke has to make shots in order to win this game. I think they will, but I think I have Duke winning this game. Hopefully they shoot well. If not, then I'm gonna look stupid, probably. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, the Cinderella run would be fun to see, but I have Duke as well. I think they're just gonna be too much for Oral Roberts to overcome. So we got Tennessee, Louisiana. Tennessee's been struggling a lot lately. Ended up losing to Mizzou for the second time this year in the SEC tournament. Facing a Louisville team who's only lost 7 games, only allows 69, a little under 70 points a game, and can score almost 80 points a game. So what do you guys think, Tennessee or Louisiana, Siege?
Give me Tennessee.
Aaron.
That's all the explanation I need. Give me Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
All right, you no love for the Raging Cajuns?
Nope.
No.
All right, fine. Rocky Top. Kentucky, Providence. Providence is a pretty decent team from, I think, the Big East, if I'm not mistaken. And then Kentucky going through a little bit of a lull after their dominance of the SEC for so many years. Who do you have, Siege, Providence or Kentucky?
I have Kentucky winning this game. Kentucky, it might just be because of the household name.
Yeah.
They're struggling against top 25 opponents this year, as you can see,
Yeah.
and they lost to Gonzaga by 16. They lost to UCLA by 10. They beat Tennessee twice though, so I mean they can beat good teams. It just kind of depends on which team shows up for Kentucky. I do have Kentucky moving on against Providence though. I like I like Kentucky in this game.
Yeah, I'm expecting a close game, but I have Kentucky as well. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm going with Kentucky. Despite their struggles sort of later in the season, I mean, they lost a really bad Georgia team and that's to Vanderbilt twice, who I think actually is sneaky good. Um, I don't see them losing to. I mean, all props to Providence. They're a solid team, but I just don't see Kentucky falling in the first round.
Yeah. All right. Kentucky moves on. K-State versus Montana State. I think Siege. Yeah, Siege kind of alluded to that earlier. Michigan State versus USC. I have the upset here with USC beating Michigan State. Michigan State obviously did not play very well in the Big Ten tournament. I believe they lost their first game to Ohio State, one of the worst teams in the conference. So, yeah, I have USC coming out on top. What do you guys have, Aaron?
It's tough because Michigan State does they do have some really good 3-point shooters, and it might have just been that they had an off night. But I too have the upset USC over Michigan State.
Siege.
Wow, we also have the upset over here on my end. I have USC over Michigan State as well.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully USC can play good defense at least when they're getting back down and stuff. But yeah, I have USC beating Michigan State this year.
Well, I guess we just do not have much faith when it comes to that MSU squad up there. Marquette, Vermont. Marquette.
Yeah. Marquette.
Okay. Moving over to the West, we got Kansas, Howard. Kansas, probably.
Yeah.
Kansas.
All right. Arkansas, Illinois. This could be a really fun game. Arkansas has been very inconsistent this year, but they have potential. Kind of same story with Illinois. Arkansas has played 10 top 25 teams this year, only won twice. So obviously they are struggling when it matters. But what do you guys think? You guys got Arkansas or Illinois? What do you think, Zeech?
Woo Pig. I'm going Arkansas.
Oh yeah, the hat. I forgot.
Woo Pig.
Aaron, you got any explanation?
Not necessarily any explanation, to be honest with you. I just have faith in the old Arkansas boys and them going out there and taking care of business.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Razorbacks are aggressive. So, what do you think, Aaron? Illinois or Arkansas? You gonna make me think about this one, or are you just gonna?
I've got Arkansas. I mean, they really went on a slide here later in the year, but I just don't see Illinois bouncing back after the tough season that they've had.
You had them as a sneaky Big Ten championship
winner. I did. Obviously, that didn't work out.
And they got beat by Penn State.
Yeah,
Penn State's good, apparently.
Maybe they're feeling a little bit defeated and.
I don't know. I think seeing how well Penn State played against Purdue should make Illinois feel a little bit better about themselves. But I also have Arkansas. I was hoping you'd say Illinois so I could maybe change my pick up a little bit because I really honestly don't know what way this is going to go. When it comes down to these games where I'm not quite sure, I think it could go either way. I'm basically just going to pick the SEC team. So, Woo Pig, go Razorbacks.
I mean, I did tell you Illinois is not a big game team, and they proved it me right in the Big Ten tournament. So.
Oh, so here's one of my favorites because I have 12-seeded Virginia Commonwealth University beating St. Mary's. VCU is the team I chose to move on in this game, just mainly because their track record of doing it before in the past. So, what do you think, Siege? Do you have St. Mary's or VCU?
I also do have VCU.
Wow.
St. Mary's made too big of a name for themselves, bro, in the tournament.
They did. Now
Virginia
they're one of those
Commonwealth
teams
is
that are
coming in
supposed to
and
win. Yeah.
Virginia Commonwealth is coming
Yeah.
in and yamming it on St.
Yeah.
Mary.
VCU.
That's
Well,
my.
I guess my pick doesn't matter.
You have St. Mary's? Tell us
I
why
had St. Mary's.
Tell us why you have St. Mary's at least.
I mean, they play good defense. They don't seem like they get rattled too much. They've got 2 guards averaging 41% from three. So that was my pick. I don't necessarily think VCU has the firepower to keep up.
Hey, do it for the Commonwealth, baby. Do it for the Commonwealth. That's all I gotta say. So we will mark VCU moving on 2-1. UConn Iona. I believe I heard that is it Rick Pitino coaching up there in Iona now?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, it is. That is absurd. That is crazy. I can't believe that man has a job and isn't in prison or something. I guess what he did technically wasn't illegal, but it's still very weird. But who do you guys have, UConn or Iona? I have UConn, by the way.
I have UConn.
Yeah.
I think UConn's one of the sneaky best teams in this tournament.
Yeah, I agree. I have UConn going far. What do you think, Siege?
I also have UConn in this game.
All right. Sorry, Rick. Gonna have to get some strippers for your players some other time. TCU versus Arizona State and or Nevada. Well, probably not but or Nevada. That would be crazy.
Good combination. The best players from the games.
Yeah, that would be wild. I've got a feeling we're all gonna go TCU here. Just to root on our boy Siege. We got you, buddy.
Wow, you know
Thank you,
what
thank
assuming does.
Makes a butt out of you and me.
I actually have ASU. No, I'm just kidding. TCU.
Who do you have, Eric?
Yeah. Yeah.
TCU. Okay. Although I could see Arizona State or Nevada. This is why 11 play-ins are stupid. Because both those teams honestly could be in. But Gonzaga, Grand Canyon. I got Gonzaga.
Yep.
Zags roll.
Yep. GCU, is that like
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon
don't
University.
they have their ads like all
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
The whole online school.
Good for them.
They're really good at baseball.
Wow, that's awesome.
They're really good at baseball.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh. Northwestern Boise State. This is a weird game. I don't know.
This almost feels like a toss-up to me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same.
I flipped a coin to pick my winner. I'm not kidding.
I just think North. If Boise State had a blue basketball court like they had a blue football field, I'd pick them. But they don't, so I'm gonna go Northwestern.
I also have Northwestern.
I have Northwestern. Although Boise State,
If they had a blue
You got
basketball court,
they've got 2 guys that. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Northwestern has
Oh.
Northwestern has beat 4 top 25 teams this year, so they're probably the real deal. UCLA, UNC Asheville, UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the round of 32, where things could get a little bit more interesting. First pick, we got Alabama versus the West Virginia Mountaineers. Who do you guys have, Alabama or West Virginia? We'll start with you, Aaron.
I have Alabama. I mean, despite West Virginia being a physical team and those being the teams that give Alabama the most problems, I've got Alabama in this one.
Yeah, same. I think I'm gonna have to ride with Alabama.
I'm with Alabama as well.
San Diego State, Virginia. I'm gonna ride with the team I thought was gonna win the ACC tournament. They ended up coming in second, so I don't feel too bad about that pick. I think they're a good team. I got Virginia beating San Diego State.
I too have Virginia over San Diego State. The Mountain West is historically bad in the tournament, so I'm gonna roll with that tradition continuing.
I like it. Siege.
And I'm going to start a new tradition because San Diego State is taking down Virginia. They didn't get beat in the first round for me, but they get beat in the second.
I honestly don't hate that, though.
Yeah, I could see San Diego State winning. I just don't think they will. So,
That's fine.
2-1. Virginia moves
Just
on.
mark it down for when they play, and that way you can like tell me I'm pretty nice with this predicting thing.
But fair enough. I got you.
All
I
right.
got you. We got Creighton Baylor. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I like the 7-footer.
Well, I think we all knew from how high you were on Creighton where your pick's going.
The 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year and one of the nation's best interior players. I'm reading that verbatim. I got Creighton beating Baylor. What do y'all say? What do y'all say?
So, do you want to tell us how far you had Creighton going before we...
I had Baylor in the Final Four my first time making a bracket.
Yeah, but how far did you have Creighton?
Well,
Winning the whole thing.
How far do you have Creighton now?
How far do I have Creighton now? I have them losing to Arizona.
Okay.
Oh, I put Princeton. My bad. Yeah, no, I have them losing in the next round to Arizona, but I haven't beaten Baylor. I think their size is going to end up being what beats Baylor. I think Creighton's a good team.
I've got Baylor.
I've got Baylor.
I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the outside game of Baylor.
All right. Well, I'm outnumbered. We'll see. I think you guys are wrong, but it's fine. Missouri versus Arizona. I think we all have Missouri winning this one, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm kidding. I have Arizona winning.
Arizona.
Yeah. This could be a fun game. Both teams like to get out and transition and run the floor, but I don't think Mizzou's consistent enough or really big enough.
I don't think we make enough buckets. Like, I don't think we're good enough at basketball to beat them. To be frank, I just don't think we're good enough at basketball.
That's a pretty blunt way to put it.
Yeah.
Real intricate.
Yeah. I just don't think we're that good at basketball is all. Houston, Auburn. I got Houston moving on. Best team in the nation right now. Yeah. We'll see. What do you think, Siege?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I also have Houston.
Okay.
Based on just like the amount of points that they're giving up per game, like literally they're giving up 56 points a game. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, their defense is absurd.
So that's where I'm at with that game. I have Houston moving on.
All right.
Yeah.
Miami, Indiana. I like the movie Hoosiers, and I like the basketball team Hoosiers. So, I got Indiana winning this one. That's all the explanation I need. The movie's a good movie.
I do have the Hoosiers.
The movie is a good movie.
The movie's a good movie. Have you seen Hoosiers?
His analysis
is a great analytical point you just made right there, Burgle. I love it.
I just have
They're
this
not good
feeling,
enough at basketball to win.
I have this
movie
feeling,
was a good movie.
I have this feeling in my gut Indiana's just the better team.
I mean, they do.
I have this feeling in my gut that the Cavender twins on the women's basketball team will be willing Miami to win this game. Miami over Indiana. Indiana fails big game. Miami.
IU, baby. Bobby Knight.
But, I mean, we have to put Indiana since you two picked them. Just mark that one down again. Miami. I picked Miami.
Iowa State, Xavier. I had Mississippi State Pitt winning the first one, so I have Xavier moving on in this one. Aaron.
I actually have Iowa State moving and knocking off Xavier here.
Siege.
I have Xavier.
Did that make you kind of change your mind at all a little bit? Maybe Aaron picking Iowa State, because that one caught me off guard. I didn't think he was gonna go there.
It did kind of throw me off guard a little bit. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I figured he would just
ride with it. Yeah, I thought he was gonna
ride with Xavier, but I like Xavier. I mean, I picked them to
win the Big East. Yeah,
Big East. Yeah, I picked them to win the Big East. They didn't, but that's okay. I still like Xavier. have much of a reasoning for it. I usually ride the Big 12 teams, but
I
Iowa
know that's
State
what I
scares
was.
me for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
So mainly because they don't shoot the three super well, but I have Xavier winning this game.
All right, all right. I just wanted to double check because Aaron going with Iowa State was not what I expected. Texas A&M, Texas. I got Texas. They just seem like the better ball club.
Yeah, I've got Texas.
I also have Texas. The only thing that scares me about Texas is their inability to shoot the three as well. Like when I was watching the TCU Texas game the other day, it was a really good game. Texas could not shoot the three ball very well, and I was kind of surprised by that. It's not that they couldn't really shoot the three ball; it's just they wouldn't shoot the three ball, and it was really weird to see because TCU was just lagging off the 3-point line on defense. And I mean, it seemed to do a decent job against them because they just wouldn't shoot the ball, and then they would run into a wall down low. It was a really ugly game, but yeah, I like Texas over A&M here to move on.
All right. Nice little interstate rivalry. I love it. Purdue, Memphis. I actually have Memphis moving on in this game personally. No real rhyme or reason for it. I just something in my gut makes me feel like after seeing Memphis, I guess there is a reason for it. Memphis playing as well as they did against Houston was very impressive, as well as Purdue playing as bad as they did late in the game against Penn State. I think Memphis has all the capabilities to beat Purdue, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. What do you guys think, Purdue or Memphis? Aaron? I know you wanted Memphis. You were kind of.
I've flip flop back and forth on this one because it honestly feels like a game that Purdue would lose.
Yeah.
Not that they should lose, but it feels like one that they would lose.
Could lose, yeah.
I could be swayed either way. I think I'm leaning Purdue at this point.
Oh, I hate you. Dang it. I wanted to go Memphis with this one. Come on, Siege.
Mark it down, Burke. Mark it down because I'm going with Purdue. You could be the winner of that game. Who knows? But I have Purdue advancing to the Sweet 16. So that's where I'm at.
Dang. All right. Well, I guess we'll go with Purdue. Duke versus Tennessee. I have been Aaron can attest for this. I am a very, very vocal opponent against Tennessee being ranked as high as they've been all year. I don't think Tennessee's
bitching at me every time the rankings come out.
Every single week. I do not think Tennessee is a good basketball team. I think they're okay. I think they're around the same level as Mizzou. So the fact that they are they've been put on the same tier as these like I don't know who, like the Miamis and the Dukes and the Virginias. I don't think they're that high. I don't think they're that good of a team. So I have Duke winning this one. I don't think it's going to be close. What do you think, Siege?
You don't think it's going to be close?
It'll be close, but I just don't like Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee's good. I just don't think Tennessee's good. Duke's going to win. It'll probably be a close game.
I like Tennessee. I like Tennessee in the game.
Gosh.
I don't understand. Because they're a good team, dude. What do you mean?
I don't think they are. I don't think they're
they beat Alabama. They beat Kansas. They beat Texas.
Like,
what else do you want them to do?
They lost to Mizzou twice. They lost to Kentucky twice.
Mizzou isn't Alabama, Kansas, or Texas, though.
But they lost to these two teams, at Kentucky and Missouri, 4 times total. They lost to 2-6 and
Okay.
4 times.
What was the score of the Kansas and Mizzou game?
We got blown out by like 20.
We lost
by
like
20, 30.
Yeah. And then Tennessee beat Kansas by 14.
And we beat them not only in the regular season, but also in the tournament.
I know, but...
we beat them in the regular season off of a buzzer beater.
We are
Tennessee
it was a very close game in the tournament.
I think Mizzou is better than Tennessee.
I think they're not, so Tennessee wins.
That's okay. Aaron, Tennessee or Duke?
I hate to do it to you, pal, but I got Tennessee. I think they actually are I think they're a very good team. They're very tall. They're a defensively capable team. So I've got Tennessee.
All right. I don't think they're a good team. But they'll have them moving on to play Purdue. I'm just getting decimated down here on this bottom half.
Just wait till the next round.
Yeah. My picks are going to start getting destroyed. Kentucky versus K-State. I kind of attested to it earlier. I don't think Kentucky's a great team either. I do think this is going to be a good game. But I don't think Kentucky's a great team. They beat Tennessee twice, which is why I don't think Tennessee's a good team. But I have K-State moving on in this game. What do you think, Aaron?
I too have K-State moving on in this game.
Yeah, they're just better.
I don't see Kentucky necessarily getting over some of the troubles that they've had. So I think K-State keeps rolling, and especially since they are truly tested in the best basketball conference.
The best basketball conference.
K-State 7-5 against top 25 teams this year is obviously really impressive as well. Who do you have, Siege, just for funsies?
Whenever you can split with teams in the Big 12, it means a lot to me. They split with Kansas. They split with Texas. They beat Baylor twice. They beat TCU once, lost to TCU twice, one of those times being in the Big 12 tournament. They split with Iowa State. They split with West Virginia. I like Kansas State because they've been tested by these teams multiple times. Mm-hmm. So I like Kansas State to kind of will themselves over Kentucky in this game. I think it'll be a really close game. I really do. But I think Kansas State beats Kentucky in this matchup.
I like it. All right. Well, K-State moving on. USC versus Marquette. After realizing that I had read the Big East tournament bracket off incorrectly my first time on last week's podcast, I changed my pick to the Marquette Golden Eagles. No, don't give me that Villanova bullcrap.
You did pick Villanova.
Your pick to win this tournament is still Villanova, as far as I'm concerned.
Fine, whatever. Marquette won the Big East tournament. I think Marquette's better than USC, so I have them moving on. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't know if USC can really keep up with Marquette. I mean, they're very good offensively. So,
Siege?
Mark it down. I got USC beating Marquette in the round of 32. Mark it down. Mark it.
Do you really?
Mark it.
Okay.
Mark it.
That'll be marked.
USC is my Cinderella of the tournament.
Interesting choice. Evan Mobley doesn't go there anymore, so
that's fine. They just won the Big 12, so it's okay.
Kansas versus Arkansas. Siege, you gonna go Razorbacks with your Woo Pig hat?
No, Kansas.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
I only have this hat because my brother goes to Arkansas. This is the only SEC team I'm okay with.
Well, that's stupid. Missouri's better than them. Yeah, I have Kansas as well. They're one of the best teams in the nation. And they have a guy on the team named Grady Dick. So that's cool. VCU versus UConn. I have UConn. Unfortunately, the Commonwealth has come to an end. Siege?
I agree. UConn over VCU.
Despite me having UConn versus St. Mary's, I too have UConn coming out of that.
St. Mary's.
Market. That's
not a market moment. We went with the upset first round.
TCU versus Gonzaga. I got the Zags. When Siege zigs, I zag. So I got the Zags.
No.
You got TCU for real though?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got TCU. We beat Texas. We beat Kansas. We beat Baylor. We beat K-State twice. We beat West Virginia. We beat Iowa by 13. We beat Providence by 13. I mean, you can't argue with what we put on the table. What you can't argue with is when Mike Miles is out of the game, we suck. That is a true statement.
Seems like a problem.
He missed a couple weeks right before the Big 12 tournament. He came back. He played really well, at least against Kansas State. The next game he's okay against Texas, but we played Texas twice, or we played Texas close up until like the last couple minutes when it came into a free throw game. But I got TCU.
See, or
Mark
Aaron, what you got? Because I'll mark it because I know Aaron got the Zags.
You're just gonna have to say mark it again because I too have Gonzaga. I mean, their premier win this year is over Alabama. They got some good sharpshooters, and I think they're just a really good team. And how can you not root for Drew Timmy?
I mean, Drew Timmy's a cool dude, but look at their common opponents here.
Drew Timmy.
Look at their common opponent in
Timmy,
Texas, in Baylor.
Timmy.
Gonzaga got whooped by 19 by Texas. They lost to Baylor by 1. TCU's beat both Texas and Baylor.
That was early on in the season. They're struggling. They're getting hot now.
I don't know.
When
TCU.
When Siege zigs, I zag. Moving on. Northwestern UCLA. I've got UCLA.
UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA.
Okay. All right. Let's get to our Sweet 16. We got Alabama versus Virginia. I really wanted to pick Virginia in this. Unfortunately, I had to go Alabama. They just seem like they're just too freaking good. What do you guys have, Virginia or Alabama? Siege.
I have, despite having San Diego State over Virginia, mark it. Alabama wins.
Yeah, I've got Alabama as well.
All right. I'll mark them.
Mark what?
No, I mean like
we all picked Alabama.
I know. No, I mean, like Mark, whatever. Baylor versus Arizona. I had Creighton moving on, beating Baylor. Mark
Jesus Christ.
Mark it. So I had Arizona winning this one anyways. What do you have, Siege?
I have Baylor over Arizona.
So
Arizona, listen, wait. Wait.
Go ahead.
Arizona has a stigma on them. They look really good the first 2 rounds. Sweet 16, Elite 8 come around, and they just absolutely shit the bed.
Choking on it.
That's what happens. That's what happens with Arizona basketball. They have all this hype every year, and then they suck when they get to Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. One of the two. This year they played Baylor, and they're going to run into a buzzsaw, and Baylor's going to beat Arizona in the Sweet 16.
Choking on that Big 12 dog. Go ahead, Aaron.
Maybe.
I guess I'm gobbling on that dong as well because I've got Baylor too.
Oh my god, it's so gross.
Gobble on it, Burke. You got to get on the wave.
I don't think Arizona's guards match up at all with Baylor's.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Alright. Well, I guess we have Baylor moving on.
Also, can we note that earlier in our group chat, Burke said that he had 4 Big 12 teams or 3 Big 12 teams in his Final Four.
Where are the Big 12s? They're gone. They're not in your Final Four.
Baylor was one of them too.
And you got off the gobble? You didn't finish the gobble? What are you doing?
I stopped.
You got 90% there.
I stopped gobbling on the knob. I'm sorry. I couldn't continue the gobble. Moving on to Houston, Indiana. This is a tough one because if Sasser's my big decision making point for this one was that if Bud Sasser's not 100%, I think I have to go Indiana here. I think Indiana beats Houston if Sasser's not 100%. So that's who I have moving on. Aaron, Indiana or Houston? Who you got?
A really good game.
Yeah.
It features 2 of probably the best players in the nation, Marcus Sasser for Houston and Tracy Jackson Davis for Indiana. I have Houston. I think this is gonna be a really fun game to watch though.
Yeah, If Sasser was guaranteed 100%, I'd pick Houston moving on. I had them originally, and then I found out Sasser was not probably going to be 100%. This is the first team that they would face in the tournament that would give them any sort of trouble. So that's ultimately why I have Indiana moving on. Siege, who do you have, Indiana or Houston?
Well, considering Indiana losing to Miami, I have Houston moving on.
Well, you were wrong.
Either way, Indiana's out in the round of 32. I'm sorry.
I mean, you also have to keep in mind that there's a bit of a gap between the round of 32 and the round of 16.
No,
So
yeah.
there is a little time for that groin to heal up a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean they
That's a good
switch
point. That's
locations.
That's a whole week.
They switch locations and everything like that. So
yeah. Xavier, Texas. I have Texas moving on for the simple fact that they just face better competition, and have been at least better against that better competition. According to that, they're 9-6 against top 25 teams. Xavier 6-5. So BPI Texas is 5th ranked. Xavier is 21st ranked. And then conference doesn't really matter because they were in one of the best conferences in the nation. But their defense is solid. Their offense is solid. So yeah, I got Texas moving on to the Elite Eight. Who do you have,
Aaron? I mean, Xavier, they've got some dogs. They've got some really good shooters. Their starting five is really good. I think what really sets Texas apart is kind of their depth. They have got some players above those, starting five that can score and really help. So my pick's Texas.
CH, you got the Big 12 love.
Oh, I'm slobbing on that knob. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Texas just won the Big 12. Like I said earlier, though, the only thing that scares me about Texas is they do not shoot the three. They will like not shoot it. It's weird. So going up against Xavier, they might have to start shooting the three a little bit, and that gets into a sticky situation with them.
Yeah.
However, I think they'll overcome that, and I think they'll pull out ahead in this game. I love Xavier, mainly because everybody says Xavier, even though it's just Xavier. But I got Texas.
UT.
Yeah. I hate Texas, but I got them winning the game.
All right, moving down here, we got Purdue versus Tennessee. So this is weird for me. I didn't have either of these two teams making it this far, so this would literally be my worst nightmare. But I got Purdue because I think Tennessee sucks. Tennessee's not good. Tennessee's not good. Tennessee's not good. Everyone, Tennessee's not good. No, okay. But yeah.
Tennessee's winning the game. Tennessee
What?
winning the game.
What? You don't have Tennessee. You don't. See, who do you have? Purdue or Tennessee? You don't have Tennessee.
I got Tennessee laying that sack on Purdue. They're laying they are taking their sack off, whipping it around their head like a lasso, and laying it on Purdue in this game. I'm sorry, but it's gonna happen. Purdue makes it to the Sweet 16. They had a good year. I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry to tell you, but they're losing this game to Tennessee, and Tennessee's moving on to the Elite Eight.
What is your deal with Big Ten teams? Do you just hate Big Ten? I don't understand.
Big Ten sucks.
Big Ten is good until the Sweet 16.
Aaron, who do you have? Purdue or Tennessee?
I mean, are you gonna make me say it?
God, you have Tennessee too?
I have Tennessee as well. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're not a good team.
You gotta
They're not good. They're not
lasso
good.
the sack.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. How are they still here?
Because they're a good team.
No, they're not.
I just think they're better than Purdue.
Yeah.
Moving on, Kansas Marquette. Or K-State. K-State Marquette. I have Golden Eagles, baby. Caw. Fly Eagles fly. Marquette, baby, all the way. And I guess I have them definitely beating Tennessee after that. So Marquette's in my Final Four. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah. I guess I'm slobbering on it not walking more because I got
No, you're
Yeah,
going
slide on
K-State!
the dog.
Oh!
K-State.
Oh yeah, I got Kansas State in this one. I mean, it's the Big 12. They're battle tested. They're experienced. They've been through some of these
Marquette's
absolute
7
top
and
five.
2 against top 25 teams.
Okay, that's great. I'm still thinking K State.
Yeah, I'm taking K-State as well. Even though I had Marquette already losing to USC for some reason.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
don't know.
like
Why
USC.
did you?
USC got that dog in them. I don't know what to tell you. But I got K-State beating, I guess, Marquette.
Okay. Kansas, UConn. I think I'm gonna be wrong on this one too. I got UConn winning this.
Yeah, you're
Mainly because my disdain for Kansas, but go Huskies. Siege.
I don't hate the pick. I really don't, Burkle. I really don't hate the pick one bit. For me though, I have Kansas making it past UConn.
Well, I have UConn making it to
I think Kansas is not as good as they have been in the past. They've shown signs of like slipping up, especially in Big 12 play. Like honestly, Kansas has usually like dominated the Big 12. This year they've slipped up a lot.
They have,
Like,
yeah, they've been really shaky.
I mean,
they lost at home.
yeah, they lost to TCU. I'm pretty sure they lost both times that they played them. I could be wrong. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, they split with TCU. But I mean, still, like you don't see teams in the Big 12 usually like beat Kansas a lot, and they slipped up like 5 times this year in the Big 12. So I think they're definitely beatable. I don't hate the pick. I just have KU beating UConn in this game.
All right, Aaron, you got UConn or KU?
You know, Burke, I've been waiting to be your hero.
No way. You're not.
And I'm going to keep waiting because I have KU. Siege, have you heard of Ken Palm?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked at their site recently, but
I have
KU, their adjusted for strength of schedule is third for offense and second for defense.
Is it really?
Yeah. They are really a very good team. I think despite, being a 1 seed, I think they're kind of overlooked. So, yeah, I got Kansas here.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they have a guy with the last name Dick.
Exactly. And I'm gobbling on that Big 12 dick.
I'm gobbling all over it, dude.
Gonzaga, UCLA. I picked Gonzaga simply because Aaron told me that UCLA's best defenders are out for the season. That's it. That's the only reason. Siege?
What is it again?
Gonzaga, UCLA.
Gonzaga, UCLA. Well, considering I have UCLA and TCU, I picked TCU to go on and play Kansas later.
Ludicrous.
I pick between Gonzaga and UCLA. Well, considering I have Gonzaga out of the tournament, I gotta roll with UCLA.
All right. Aaron, UCLA or Gonzaga? Hopefully you have some more insight than either of us, because we just kind of said shit.
I think I have to roll with my guy Drew Timmy. I think, like I said earlier, that I think they're just a very solid overall team. They've got some lethal shooters. So
I like Timmy.
That's my pick. Timmy.
Timmy Turner. All right, moving on to the Elite Eight, right? Yeah, the Elite Eight. We got Alabama versus Baylor. Well, I think Baylor's going to lose to frickin' Creighton, so obviously I think they're going to lose to Alabama. I have Bama moving on. Siege, who do you have?
I'm hopping off the slob for just a second.
Gosh.
Alabama wins against Baylor. I think it's a blowout for some. I think it's a blowout.
I definitely think it's.
Alabama beats Baylor. Baylor had a good run for them. There was high expectations this year. They started off in the rankings really high. Sorry, Baylor, you're getting blown out by Bama, and Bama rolls Baylor.
Aaron, you got Bama or
Yeah.
Baylor? Bama.
I got Bama. I think it's said that they're the best team in this tournament, probably the best team in college basketball. So I'm rolling with Bama.
All right, Alabama is our first Final Four team. Houston whoops. All right, Houston versus Texas. Well, I had Houston losing to Indiana, but I think that if Houston were to beat Indiana, they're still a better team than Texas. So I'm going to choose Houston to move on and beat Texas to take their place in the Final Four. Who do you have, Aaron? Houston or Texas? That's where you're saying Houston or Texas because it's Houston, Texas.
This is where I hop back on
Oh my gosh!
the Big 12 bandwagon.
Yes, sir.
My pick is Texas. I think they're kind of their lack of 3-point shooting could come back to bite them here, but I don't think it does quite yet. I think Texas.
Me and Aaron are on the same page with this game. I think Texas beats Houston. I think Houston, they've had the great year. They've been destroying everybody they play. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They come into this game thinking they're hot. Texas rolls in, just does the dirty work, backs them down, scores a bunch of 2-point shots, and beats Houston.
All right. Moving on to Tennessee, Kansas State. Kansas State, I guess, since Tennessee doesn't deserve to even make it out of the second round. Yeah, I'll go with the Wildcats. Siege, please tell me you're slobbing on that knob.
I am not slobbing on that knob. Give me Tennessee, roll the ball. Come on, baby.
Tennessee's
The Vols
okay.
roll against K-State. K-State has shown that they can't beat TCU. And I have TCU in my bracket beating Kansas to go to the Final Four. Tennessee beats K-State to go to the Final Four.
If Tennessee makes it to the Final Four, I'll jump headfirst off my roof. Aaron.
Hey, maybe, yeah.
Aaron,
Okay,
Tennessee or Kansas State, please. Slop on the knob.
I too am hopping off that Big 12 dick and get.
Oh my gosh. I think you guys are so wrong. Tennessee is not a good team. Tennessee is not a good team. Okay, I guess I'll mark Tennessee in our Final Four.
I mean, Tennessee's the fifth-ranked Ken Palm team, so I mean.
I just don't think.
I'm sorry, I'm riding it.
I just don't think they're a good team. I've seen them play twice this year. You know what they did both those times? They lost to Mizzou. Kansas versus Gonzaga. Well, I guess I'll take KU winning this one. Because I had UConn beating Kansas. So, yeah, KU is going to move on, beat Gonzaga. Who do you have, Siege? Slobbing on the knob?
Well, considering I have Kansas and
TCU.
TCU in there, and I have TCU moving on, I guess I have to roll Zags. Come on, Timmy, finally. Give me the Zags.
Aaron?
I'm with Kansas here.
All right.
Despite how good Gonzaga
God, I finally
is.
hopped on the train with Timmy. And you're gonna leave me like this?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Kansas is just just too battle tested. And
Should have hopped on earlier. All right, into our final four, we have Bama, Tennessee, Texas. We have two SEC and two Big 12 teams facing off against. So this is basically a conference tournament championship game between the Big 12 and the SEC to see who goes to the national championship. Alabama versus Tennessee. I guess. Can I finally get some agreement that Tennessee will lose? Alabama wins. Siege. Oh my gosh! I swear.
Tennessee rolls into the Final Four against Alabama and absolutely gets rolled. Roll Tide. That's the only time you're ever going to hear me say that. I hate Alabama, but Roll Tide, they're going to the Natty.
God, Tennessee sucks. Aaron.
yeah, I'm with Siege here. I've got Alabama,
Thank gosh. Thank gosh.
despite how good of a team Tennessee is.
And now we got Texas versus Kansas. I didn't have either of these two teams in my Final Four. I guess I'll have to go with Kansas. Actually, in my original Final Four, where I told you I had three Big 12 teams, these were both in there. So, and I had Kansas winning that. So, Kansas comes out on top, faces Bama in the Natty. Who do you have, Siege?
Well, mine is Texas and TCU. But since we're dealing with Texas and Kansas, I have to roll with the team that won last, and that would be Texas. So, Texas, the Natty against Alabama.
Aaron, who you got? Texas? You got Texas?
I think that Kansas finally gets it done this year. I think
They just won.
it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. My pick is Kansas. I think that they come through in the end and go on to face Alabama in the
So
championship game.
Kansas,
Yes.
the Jayhawks.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and in the championship game, we have Alabama, number 1 ranked Alabama, versus number 1 ranked Kansas for all the marbles. And in the end, whoops.
The stream has paused.
And in the end, I have Bama. Roll Tide. Siege.
Well, who do we have again? Kansas and Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how to pick between these two besides going with the Tide.
Roll
The
Tide.
Tide win. No matter who it was going to be, my final score predictor is 68-61. I don't know why, but that's my final score prediction for any bracket that I made this whole year.
It's pretty low.
Alabama rolls against the Jayhawks. My personal bracket, I have them rolling against the Frogs, 68-61. So, yeah, Alabama.
All right, Crimson Tide seem to have won, but Aaron, go ahead and say your piece. Who do you have?
I too have Alabama. I mean, best team through and through. They're so deep. They've got, 2 of everything, everybody says. So, yeah, I think Alabama pulls it off. Despite a good fight from Kansas, my score prediction is 72-65.
All right, so you had 72-65. Siege, what did you have?
68-61.
68-61. I have 78-70. So I guess we'll meet in the middle and say Aaron's. Is that good? Was Aaron's prediction? Siege?
What is it?
72-65.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Because mine,
As long as there's a 7-point margin, I'm good with it.
we're going to enter both of these tournament or challenges. Submit the picks. First name, Swivel, Chair.
I don't think it's going to work like that, Burkle.
Okay.
I think you might just have to say, we're entering these and then put your name in after.
All
so
right.
that way
Yeah,
they
don't
can
do
actually
that on
win
here.
that
Yeah.
$5,000
Yeah,
gift card.
we will enter those later, but those have been our March Madness bracket predictions. The Swivel Chair Sports official March Madness bracket. We'll post that on our website that does not exist, so don't go looking for a website. And now for our random sports fact of the week. Until the mid 1950s, teams were permitted to participate in both the NIT and NCAA tournaments. City College of New York is the only school to land titles in both brackets, accomplishing this singular feat in 1950. So you didn't have to suck to make it to the NIT. You could have made it even if you were good back then. Isn't that inspirational, kids? But that'll do it for this episode of Swivel Chair Sports. This has been the March Madness edition of Swivel Chair Sports. I've been your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle. Here's my co-host today, Aaron and Siege. Go ahead and say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
All right. If you like our content, please make sure to like and subscribe. But other than that, that'll do it. Deuces.